What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, guys. Definitely gonna want to see this. And as we got that Fox News The 5 host, Harold Ford Jr. back at it again, guys. He's battling it out head to head against that Jessica Tarloff, trying to see who's been most affected by that Trump derangement syndrome. And I will say Harold Ford Jr. is making a very strong case in this newest segment, guys. I'm excited to get into it. So now I'm straight into it. Just make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's get into it, y'all. Check this one out.
They're going to stop us from doing what we're doing on an interior enforcement operation. I've said 100 times in the last week, don't cross that line. It is a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. Don't test us. The nation wants a safe country. We've had enough crime in this country, illegal alien crime. It's time to end it and stop it.
So we get our rundown around 11 a.m. every day, and the thing I've been looking forward to the most is another debate about tariffs between Harold and Jesse Waters. So, Harold, let me let you start, Harold, and tell me what you think about this.
Good to be back. The president, during the campaign, was crystal clear about his position on tariffs. He said two things that I thought were interesting. One, he believes that bilateral relations and negotiations with tariffs will help him extract concessions from countries, be it on this border security or economic security. I think some of the threats that the president's put down, or I should say the challenges that he's put down the table today, you have to also remember that the other side knows the president also. They've read the book, The Art of the Deal, that they understand that he has said that he is going to look to extract things from other countries. I'm rooting for him. I'm a strong believer, though, that tariffs usually don't work. If you are looking to...
Here we go, guys. How is he going to say tariffs don't work? We've already seen, what is it, Mexico? They've stopped the large caravans that they were sending to our borders once Donald Trump said he was going to impose tariffs on their country. I mean, come on, guys. How is he going to say it doesn't work? We're already seeing action before anything is being put in place. I mean, come on, man. I'm
a strong believer, though, that tariffs usually don't work. If you are looking to incite the other side to raise prices, or you accept that there's a risk that they will raise prices on American goods, you basically just double up the price increases. Now, my pal Jesse and I have had this conversation on air and off air, and I know that his belief is that President Trump will do this the right way, that President Trump will walk right up to the edge and not go unconditional tariffs everywhere. I hope you're right. And I have greater confidence now that Scott Bessent is the designee for Treasury Secretary. One last thing, Dana, I hope that, I said it last night, I think that the border czar chief, and last night we talked about the mayor of Denver, some of his comments, they both sound like, again, they're trying out auditioning for a Clint Eastwood movie or auditioning for a role in Tom Cruise's movies.
There's no audition. Tom Homan is very clear in his statement when he says, you mess around, you get in the way, you will be prosecuted. No one's going to stop this mass deportation. Tom Homan's mission as chief border czar. I mean, this guy is simply not messing around. That guy in Denver better watch his back.
Auditioning for a Clint Eastwood movie.
I don't know.
Or auditioning for a role in Tom Cruise's movies. Just do your job. I mean, the don't test us, the threats, the bluster, I think some of that is fine. But at the end of the day, the American people, I'm one of them. I'm part of that 70% that want to see smart deportations. I'm part of that 70% that believes we should have a very, very different border policy. But what I'm not for is this kind of kid stuff. I hope the president's right. I hope his tariffs work. But if they don't, I hope he's able to pivot and do something that will lower prices for everyday Americans.
So President Trump utilizing his leverage and giving them some runway to say, like, this is happening on day one, but within 12 hours, the president of Mexico, she's relatively new, only been there a few months. She said, okay, like, I'll stop the caravans from coming through.
Exactly.
Permission to make an analogy?
Oh, okay, sure.
You want to hold my hand or you want
This is a safe one, unlike yesterday. Let's say Jesse Jr.'s room is a mess, and it's been like that for 2 weeks. And my wife, Emma, who I love, but this is just an analogy, has been soft and has not made him clean up his room. So now Jesse Sr. comes home and says, Jesse Jr., if you don't have that room cleaned up by 6 o'clock, no allowance. Okay?
You bet.
Now, there's no need to panic. It's not 6 o'clock yet. He may clean up the room. He may get his allowance. And if he doesn't do it, then he'll survive.
That's a very valid point right there. The tariffs could potentially, where we're already seeing motion in a tariff, just the threat or the thought of a tariff got Mexico shaking in their boots, already ceasing all the caravans heading straight to our border. Unironically, I mean, come on, you guys. To say they won't work, this analogy right here by Jesse, spot on, guys.
May get his allowance, and if he doesn't do it, then he'll survive. All this is a threat that there will be consequences. That's all this is. Now, Emma, again, my wife, who I love, just is just an analogy, can't complain. She has no right to complain because what she's done has not worked. Just like Biden and the Wall Street Democrats can't complain either because what they've done with Mexico and China has not worked either. So, Harold, I think you have to sit this one out, and all these people running their mouths about tariffs have to sit this out because this is Donald Trump's deal. If you have a guy who had 4 years with no inflation and tariffs, how can you say now tariffs are going to drive up inflation? You can't. What he's doing now also, as a reminder, we're about to renegotiate USMCA. And he's going in day one with a very strong negotiation position now. He's adding a national security component to this, fentanyl and migration. And remember, we do tariffs for national security stuff all the time, like steel. We threw up tariffs on steel and aluminum because, heaven forbid, anything happens with Taiwan. You don't want to have to rely on Chinese steel imports when you're in the middle of a war in the Pacific. That's just stupid. Chinese EV manufacturers are building plants in Mexico. Do you think Trump's going to tolerate that? They're going to sneak around import duties and try to ship cheap EVs and flood the U.S. market? Hell no. So this happens all of the time. I'm not worried about it. And if I hear one more word out of you, Harold, we're never speaking again. Tariff.
Oh my goodness. Jesse Waters, though, I'm forward with Jesse in this one. Let's try the tariffs out. We're already seeing folks freaking out. These foreign nations are shaking in their boots behind the thought of Donald Trump's tariffs because they know that the adult is back in town. Someone who's actually a true leader, not going to let America be just screwed over. The tariffs are definitely going to benefit our country.
And if I hear one more word out of you, Harold, we're never speaking again. Tariff.
Judge, let me turn it over to you. I was like, there's 20 different questions I could ask you, but let me just turn it over to see what you want to talk about.
Well, I appreciate that. I think the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that this isn't Hollywood. And I love you, Harold. You know that.
God better get out that Tom Cruise jacket and put a suit on.
Tom Homan is not overdoing it. And America has waited for someone like Tom Homan for a long time. And it's, I think, 3/4. It's more than 70%. Almost 75% of Americans think that Donald Trump has to prioritize these deportations. And when Tom Homan talks about 8 U.S.C. Code 1324, Section 3, where an alien has come or entered or remains in the United States in violation of the law, and you conceal, harbor, or shield them from detection, or you can attempt to do the same, you are guilty of a felony. So this guy who's dancing around the mayor of Denver, I mean, he's a joke. This is all going to end. He's trying to get some attention because that guy right there on the screen is dead serious. He's going to have a Department of Justice with Pam Bondi, who's going to be able to back it up. They're going to have the legal force to be able to do it. Now, let's talk about the fact that apparently China has had a death penalty for drug dealers. And apparently they've refused to make good on that death penalty statute. And Donald Trump is saying, you know what, if you're not going to use it, then we're going to add 10% on your goods as well. Now, I don't claim to be as knowledgeable on tariffs as you guys. I don't really care. What I care about is within 2 hours, Trudeau jumps, and this woman, the new prime minister or president of Mexico, is jumping. Nobody wants to lose the United States, okay? Nobody wants to lose the power, the money that we give away, and everything else. But I think that there's something significant. This is my last point, Dana, is that we get 60% of our crude oil from Canada. All right. Now, if the United States is going to be energy independent again, we have an even tougher negotiating stance with Canada because we're not going to need as much of that crude oil when we start doing our own dance here.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Harold Ford can play dumb, play along with those folks on the left all he wants, but he's got to admit at some point Donald Trump's got a great plan, and we're already seeing it play out. He hasn't even stepped foot in the White House yet, and he's already got such huge impact on these foreign nations. I mean, come on, you guys. Mexico already jumping at the thought Donald Trump's tariffs hitting their country. They're like, hold on 1 second. We're going to cease all caravans hitting the border. Then we got Justin Trudeau also trembling. I mean, come on. I can tell you guys one thing for certain. Kamala Harris would never have had the effect Donald Trump is having just as a president-elect. I mean, come on, you guys. This is what the country voted for. We voted for the guy who dodges bullets, not dodges questions. And Donald Trump is simply showing up for our nation right now, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We got